You think you're the one controlling your brain, right? That when you want to do something, you just give the order and your brain obeys. Makes sense. But, if you really control your brain, why do you still open your phone at 2 a.m.? Fully aware you have to wake up early tomorrow? Why do you eat the entire bag of chips when you swore you'd have just one bite? And why, every time you need to focus, does your brain whisper, "Hey, maybe check TikTok for just a second"? Clearly, something's off. Either you're incredibly weak-willed, or someone or something else is actually in charge up there. Spoiler alert, it's your brain. The truth is, you don't control your brain. Your brain controls you. Sounds weird, doesn't it? But science has proven it again and again. Imagine you're the CEO of a massive company called the human body. Your brain is the management system, billions of workers sending signals, processing data, controlling your heart, lungs, muscles, emotions, memories, and thoughts. And you, the CEO, only get a short daily report. Most decisions are made long before they reach your desk. Your brain has around 86 billion neurons. Each one connects to thousands of others, forming a gigantic network that even supercomputers can't fully simulate. And within that network, your conscious mind, the part that feels like you, is just a tiny fraction. Most of what your brain does is unconscious. It processes information, makes decisions, triggers reactions, all before you even know it happened. The famous Benjamin Libet experiment proved this. He asked participants to press a button whenever they felt like it. The result? Brain activity appeared 0.3 seconds before people felt the intention to press the button. In other words, the brain decided first, then informed you that you made the decision. It's like your brain acts first and says, "Yeah, totally your idea." And you believe it. That doesn't mean you have no free will. It just means you're not the first to decide. You're the one who notices the decision being made. Like you're sitting in a car. The brain's driving. And you just realized it already turned left. Your brain runs on one key principle: save energy. It hates working hard. So instead of analyzing every situation, it predicts based on past experience. Science calls this predictive processing. Every second, your brain receives millions of signals from the outside world. But it only processes a tiny fraction, around 0.0000001%. The rest? It just guesses. Like when you see a shadow and think it's a person. But it's just a coat rack. The brain doesn't wait for full data. It predicts first and corrects later if it's wrong. Your brain also loves rewards and punishments. It runs on chemicals: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, cortisol. When dopamine rises, you feel joy, motivation, excitement. When cortisol spikes, you feel stress or anxiety. And you think you're feeling emotions. But really, you're just reacting to chemistry. For example, when someone likes your post on social media, your brain releases dopamine. It records likes equals happy. So next time, you post again, scroll again, check again. Not because you love social media, but because your brain is addicted to dopamine. And you, the conscious you, just follow the feeling. Even worse, your brain doesn't really care what you want. It only cares that you survive. So when you procrastinate, get lazy, or avoid risk, you're not being undisciplined. Your brain is just conserving energy, keeping you safe. Back in prehistoric times, avoiding exhaustion or danger meant survival. Your brain still plays by those rules. The only difference? Your danger now is a deadline, not a saber-toothed tiger. So when you stare at your homework and your brain says, let's just watch one video to relax. That's not weakness, that's survival instinct. Just slightly outdated. Inside your brain, there's a constant battle between the limbic system, the emotional brain, and the prefrontal cortex, the rational brain. The limbic system wants instant rewards: eat, sleep, pleasure, comfort. The prefrontal wants long-term rewards: study, work, plan. They argue all the time. When you're on a diet but still eat the cake, limbic wins. When you refuse the cake, prefrontal wins. And when you eat the cake while saying, "I'll work out tomorrow," well, that's a tie. In truth, your brain isn't a single entity. It's a federation of many regions, each with its own agenda, like a noisy parliament. The motor cortex, emotional centers, memory systems, imagination. They all have opinions. Your conscious mind is just the spokesperson summarizing the final vote. So when you feel conflicted inside, that's because multiple yous are pulling in different directions. One wants to sleep, one wants to work. One wants success, another just wants spicy noodles. What you call me is really the whole committee. And your brain is where they meet every day. Science calls the sense of self a necessary cognitive illusion. Because without the illusion of I, you wouldn't know what to focus on. So the brain creates a central control room called consciousness. A kind of interface between brain and world. In simple terms, you don't control the brain. You are the way the brain controls itself. Think of a computer. You see the trash can icon on your screen. You think you're dragging it. But you're really just interacting with the interface. Underneath, thousands of complex commands are running that you'll never see. Your brain is the same. You don't see the billions of neurons firing. You just see the result and think, "I just thought of that." But thankfully, you're not powerless. You can train your brain through habits, meditation, learning, exercise, and sleep. Your brain can rewire itself. That's called neuroplasticity. When you learn something new, new connections form. When you repeat it, those connections strengthen. When you stop, they weaken. So improving memory, emotional control, or positive thinking isn't commanding your brain, it's training it. Here's a cool example. People who meditate show increased activity in the prefrontal cortex and reduced activity in the amygdala, the fear center. That means they don't force the brain to stop feeling fear. They train the rational part to calmly observe it. The very moment you notice, "I'm angry," you've already regained a bit of control. So the goal isn't total domination over your brain. It's cooperation. Understand it, respect it, and occasionally laugh at it when it does something silly. Your brain forgets where you left your keys, but remembers that embarrassing moment from 8th grade. It panics over an unread email, but stays totally chill when you forget to pay your taxes. That's because it wasn't built for modern life. It's running Stone Age software on 2025 hardware. So, be gentle with it. Instead of getting mad for losing focus, say, "Okay, brain, I get it. You're just trying to protect me." You'll feel much better. Learning through questions. Like and subscribe to learn new knowledge every day.